We are coming to you live from TD Garden in Boston for a prime-time showdown between two of the hottest teams in the association. Let's take a look at this week's Hits of Style, brought to you by Sprite Ginger. James Harden, always doing something. This is an extremely large poncho puffer, guys. That's what we're going to call it. When you lead the league with 35 points a game, you can wear anything you want.
That look like that should be Shaq's.
I mean, I don't know.
That's very big.
Russell Westbrook rocking some
Westbrook look like he's ready to get on Soul Train.
Maybe that's what he's doing after this game. You don't know, Paul.
Hey, he groovy. When you're doing what Westbrook doing, you can wear what you want too, huh?
He has been attacking the rim. He's scoring 20 a game in the paint since the first of the year. And we got Jason Tatum, too. No one has been hotter since the All-Star break than him. He's averaging 35 per game over his last 5. He's shooting 58% from the floor, guys.
No matter where
he's figured it out
like a ball player.
It's fun to watch.
Yep. You play like that, you can wear whatever you want. I am Rachel Nichols. I am alongside a former Rocket and a former Celtic here tonight. We've got the Hall of Famer, Mr. Tracy Mcgrady.
Back in the house.
And the man who has his number 34 right above us in the rafters here, 2008 Finals MVP.
There it is.
Paul
Good to be home.
Pierce.
It's good to be home.
Man, that looks good up there.
By the way, Paul, ladies and gentlemen, Paul knows everybody in the building.
I know everybody in here.
He's been the mayor since we got here. He's been greeting the security guards,
everybody.
The fans who sit in the front row, the ball kids. Everybody will get a piece of Paul before the end of tonight, and so will you. Now, guys, these two teams faced off on February 11th. That was just right after the Rockets debuted this micro ball lineup. And they won that one pretty handily, 116 to 105. Harden and Westbrook were cooking. They combined for 78 points, 18 rebounds, 12 assists, and they have not lost a game since. So, Paul, we know how Brad Stevens is once he gets a little game film now to work with.
Yes.
What changes do you think the Celtics are going to make now that they have this second time up against this Rockets lineup?
Just an attitude adjustment, and with the way that Jason Tatum is playing, I mean, he's playing like a true superstar, and plus they're going to be at home. I think they really match up well with the Rockets. They have forwards who can handle the ball. They're fast. They're athletic. They can switch on defense. They got to get back in transition one and stop Russ. So if they can contain him, get some homecoming, let their defense settle in the half court, then they got a great chance of winning this ball club game.
Yeah, I think from a defensive standpoint, they're going to have to be solid. If Tice is going to play, he's going to have to really play great individual defense with this small lineup, because that's what they like to do. They like to exploit the mismatch and go at that guy. So if he's going to be on the court, he's got to play some great individual defense, because now you got shooters all around the perimeter. You don't have a big man in the paint now. So he's going to have to be able to close out to shooters, defend one-on-one. And but I think in order for them to win this game, they got to go firepower for firepower. It's got to be small ball. They got to go small ball across the board, and let's see how it matches up with the Rockets.
So you don't buy in that they should go big early, try to beat, we saw P.J. Tucker there for a minute, try to beat him up a little bit and then go small at the end?
So if they have a big man that really can give them some great low post presence and who's physical down there, then yes, I'll say go big. But if you have a guy that you throw the ball down there and you're not getting any production out of him, then you have to go play small ball.
I mean, the Celtics small ball lineup is bigger than the Rockets small ball lineup. And so they match up very well. When you look across the board at Jason Tatum, Brown, 6'8", Hayward, 6'8", 6'9", I mean, they're, like I said, they're bigger already in their small ball lineup.
I like what you said earlier. Jason Tatum is the adjustment. I caught up with Jason at practice today as he was prepping for this game. Take a listen. So, Jason, you were good at the beginning of the season, but then you just took off right near the beginning of January. Your teammate Jaylen Brown said he thought it had something to do with you being named to the All-Star team. I think maybe you were bit by a radioactive spider. Which is it?
I do feel like some pressure was let off after naming an All-Star. You know, I was thinking about it a lot, but once I was named an All-Star, it kind of was like I could just take a deep breath and relax, and I didn't have to worry about it anymore. So, you know, just feel a lot more comfortable now.
What does it feel like for you, especially in clutch time toward the end of a tight game? What do you want to be able to do?
I want to be able to make the right play. You know, I love taking the big shot in those clutch moments. You know, I don't get nervous. You know, I get excited during those times. It's the moment you live for.
I I love that. I don't get nervous. I get excited. That is what
That's
you
the
want to
mentality
hear.
you gotta have.
Thank you to Jason for that. We're going to take a quick break, but stay with us. When we come back, you'll see my conversation with James Harden. He calls himself the best player in the world, talks Rockets title chances. You're going to want to stick around for that.
Houston is trying something new, and teams are having to adjust on the fly.
And it's blocked by Harden. The block by Covington. Westbrook with an education and anticipation there. Houston with the small ball lineup.
Welcome back to The Jump. You are looking at the 2018 MVP, James Harden. He's also a three-time MVP runner-up, which is pretty incredible when you think about the breadth of the run he's had. I sat down with James recently to talk about the change in direction that the Rockets made earlier this month and how he thinks it affects their chances to win a title. Take a look.
They've gone small ball. You're starting the shortest lineup in over 50 years. But one thing you better have is a whole lot of Harden. James Harden, a flamethrower.
He's a machine. He just scored.
He's unguardable.
You guys made a pretty significant change to your team at the trade deadline. The first game that you guys played was against the Lakers.
Right.
And the opening tip-off was you against JaVale. And the video and photos from that, just that one moment,
Pretty funny, right?
are pretty amazing. What did you think as you were going
That
up
was my
to do
first
that?
jump ball in the NBA in 11 years. But no, I think it's more spacing, it's more opportunities for our guards to drive and be able to attack the rim, and then we get shooters. So that's pretty good.
How confident are you that the path you're on now can lead to a title this year?
I'm very, very confident.
You do?
Extremely confident.
You think you're going to win it all?
Yeah, as long as we stay healthy, obviously, and defensively be on the string, I think, which we've almost gotten rid of. We're going to be a tough challenge.
Harden from the corner. Hits a three. And you knew he was due to make one.
The All-Star Game is a collection of the NBA's best players.
Yeah.
Where do you think you rank among the NBA's best players right now?
I feel like I'm the best player. Yeah, I just, throughout the course of the year, I don't see double teams from anybody else. Usually you see a double team after you have a 50.9 or 60.9. If I have a 18.9, the next game I'm seeing a double team, which is pretty cool. The NBA has never seen it before at half court. So I'm just trying to figure ways to, obviously, be great in that.
It's interesting to me because the NBA's own website has an MVP ladder, their rankings for MVP. They list the top 5 players. You're not even in there, James.
I know, that's crazy.
What do you think of that?
And I still lead the league in scoring.
Third straight year you've led the league in scoring.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
That's something I can't control.
You do have people talking about some of the stereotypes that have blown up around you. Charles Barkley, when they had the All-Star draft.
I'm between Kemba and Trae Young.
Wait, you don't want the dribbler?
Somebody that's going to pass the ball, that's what I want.
Giannis Antetokounmpo makes a joke on the air about, I want to take someone who can pass. I'm taking Kemba Walker instead of James Harden.
I average more assists than him, I think. But I don't see what the joke is. But I didn't even see it. And I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I just know none of them can mess with me. When it's all said and done, they'll appreciate it more. But I wish I could just run and with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like that takes no skill at all. I gotta actually learn how to play basketball and how to have skill, I take that any day.
Do you think that in the end, a title is going to give you the respect that you think you deserve?
I mean, it is, and I will get it.
You feel confident about that?
Very.
Wow, James definitely keeping it 100 there with how he feels. This has its roots in the MVP conversation back and forth between Giannis and James Harden. Tracy, how do you like seeing Harden clap back at those criticizing his style of play?
I love it. It's too much fraternizing going on in today's game. So I love that these boys are jarring at each other. They got a game coming up soon, and I can't wait to see this matchup. But I love them going back and forth at each other.
Yeah, James took that personal. Even though Giannis looked like as if he was joking, James is not joking right now. He's on a quest for a title. He's on a big quest for some respect in this league, being that he's a one-time MVP, 3-time runner-up, and it's business for him, and you can see that in this conversation.
Yeah, he definitely thinks. He said they are winning a title. If not this year, then soon. Games like tonight are important steps in that. All right, coming up, Paul's old boss is going to join us here. Celtics General Manager Danny Ainge will be on the program, so stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are coming to you live from TD Garden, and always an honor to be joined by the man who won 2 titles as a player, another as a general manager, the Celtics president, Mr. Danny Ainge. Thank you so much for being here.
It's great to be here. Glad you guys are here in town.
That's right. Well, we're here with one of your former players and someone you wanted to be one of your former players, right?
That's right, yeah. We tried hard to get Tracy when I was in Phoenix, but we had to play against him instead all those years.
You just had to make do with him.
Can you believe how good these guys would be in the game today?
I know. We talk about it all the time, right?
Oh, my God.
No hand checking. We're going to make them play after this, so it's all good. Look, I want to talk to you about Jason Tatum, because he told me earlier today that once he was selected as an All-Star, he said he felt like the pressure just lifted off of him. What has it been for you watching him go through what he's been through the last 6 weeks, just rising to the occasion over and over again?
Well, I definitely believe that there's been a weight that's been lifted off of him, but I also, we haven't had Kemba, and Kemba was doing this in November and December, and now Jason has taken over here, and I think that not having Kemba has given him a lot more opportunities to do it, and he just is feeling it right now, and I hope he can continue it, but we're going to need it tonight. But it's fun to watch him, a young player develop like that, but there definitely was a little place in the last 6 weeks where it's just he's really stepped his game up.
I've been watching this team grow over the last few years, Danny, and just seeing the transformation of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown over a few years. What do you see the ceiling of this ball club this year?
I don't know, Paul. If you'd asked me that maybe 2 months ago, I thought we still had a ways to go, but I feel like we're getting better, and we still need to get better. We still need to take another step, but I feel like this continuity of our team, we have great coaching, and our guys are starting to believe. And if we can get Kemba back the way he was playing early in the year, which I think this rest and this time off, there's a really good hope for that. And Robert can give us that burst that we thought that he could have before the season started. I don't know what our ceiling is. I'm certainly not going to put a ceiling on it. I'm going to let their play do that.
I mean, I love that your practice facility, you have all the banners, you have replicas of all the banners up there, kind of as inspiration for the guys. And there's that one empty blank one.
Yep.
Doc Rivers put that up after you guys won in 2008 to say, we're going to fill the next one. But it's now been sitting there empty for 10 years. Do you think this team, as it is, could fill that banner this year?
Well, like I said, I mean, we need to get better. I don't think that we're good enough at this very moment, but I think we've only had about 10 games where our entire top 6 or 7 players are healthy. So I'm really anxious. I'm excited for the team this year. I'm excited for the playoffs and the opportunity that we have.
So for years, teams were trying to build a team to knock down Golden State. Milwaukee is on the verge of winning 70 games this year. In the East, is the Milwaukee the bar for you guys?
Yeah, I think so. I think that Milwaukee has the best player in the league, and he's outstanding, terrific. He's going to be a tough guy to beat for the next 10 years, absolutely. So we're always paying attention to what they're doing.
I'm watching everyone go crazy over Tatum, and I keep hearing he's our next Paul Pierce. Do you think that's
better than me?
Well, do you think that's an accurate assessment with where their development is, kind of in that third year?
I mean, I never like to put that on any young players. He's still young. He's got a long way to go to become as good as these two guys. But he's definitely tracking in that direction.
There you go. You think he's going to be better than you?
He's tracking in that direction. I mean, I think when you look at a player and you look at their first couple years, you know who a player is going to be after their third year. Me and Tracy has talked about this, and I knew when I made the leap from my second to my third year, I went from averaging 19 points a game to 25 a game, and that's when I felt like I figured out. And that's what I'm seeing in him right now. He's figured it out.
Experienced pretty much everything in the NBA. You're the perfect person to play one of our favorite games here at the Jump. It is time, yes, for What Were You Thinking with Danny Ainge.
Oh, no.
First up, Danny, please tell me, what were you thinking? What was going through your head when you threw the inbounds at former Rocket Mario Ellie?
Well, I've apologized for that moment. moment. That was not one of my better moments. But I was mad. You know, he was celebrating on us a little bit earlier, and I was trying to prevent from getting suspended.
He was feisty, I'm telling you, dude. What the hell? He was feisty.
That was not a happy moment.
So, Danny, I hate to do this
I love
to you.
Mario Alley, by the way, as a player. I have great respect for him.
Hey, that was brutal.
All right,
That was
we got to
brutal.
ask, what were you thinking back in 1989? This was the first time you played after you were traded from the Celtics. You were a member of the Kings. Danny, you dropped 39 points on these poor guys. That was actually the most a player ever dropped on his old team in a return game until just this year. You held the record.
I had to show my big brothers, McHale and Bird and Parrish and DJ. I had to show like what I did to them in practice every day, and what I could be if I didn't have to like throw the ball to them in the post all my career. So in that game, that's what I was thinking that moment. But then as the season went along and we only had 28 wins, I was wishing
You
I
were
had them
thinking
on my
something
team.
different.
I hate to do this, Danny, but what were you thinking when Kyrie announced in front of the fans that he wanted to re-sign back? I'm sorry.
I think that's a good question. You know, it caught us all off guard, but I was excited for Kyrie. I mean, Kyrie had a good first year with us, and in the second year at that moment, I think everything was moving in a really good direction. It changed later in the year, but at that moment, he was really happy to be in Boston.
There you go. He was thinking good thoughts.
Yes.
Until later, less good thoughts. And now good thoughts again, Danny.
Good thoughts again.
There you go.
Well, I'm happy for him.
Thank you very much. Good thoughts for these Celtics, too. I really appreciate you joining us
All right.
here today.
Good to be with you guys.
Stay with us.
Love your show. You guys are fun. Tell
We have
Jalen I
fun.
said hi, too.
Stay with us. We're going to have more fun. We'll be back right after this break. We are just minutes away from tip-off with Rockets and Celtics. James Harden's having fun. Russell Westbrook's having fun. Everyone's having a good time. Easy. This is going to be such a good game. LeBron, AD, and the Lakers taking on Zion and the Pelicans. You can catch Countdown first at 7:30 Eastern. And we're here in Boston. It's almost time for tip-off at Rockets Celtics, so that means it's crunch time here on the jump. Let's roll through. The Rockets 9-2 since debuting their micro ball strategy. So, guys, 9-2, working well so far. But will it pay off in the playoffs? Can this work long-term for them?
I don't think so. I think it's just it'll be tough to play this type of style in the playoffs where it's physical, it slows down. Teams got 7 games to strategize for this type of style. It's going to be tough for them to win.
I'm not going to say it's not, because before we said we didn't think a jump shooting team could win a championship, and then we saw it turn into a dynasty in Golden State. And so I'm all for it. They're going and playing to their strengths, and that's what it is, playing small ball.
Well, they really are working well because, look, if Westbrook scores 14 points or more tonight, he and Harden would become the first duo to average 30 points a game over an entire month since Kobe and Shaq did it in 2001. Wow. That is a long time since then. So, Tracy, did you expect these two guys to gel this well? Because at the beginning of the season, it was a little rocky.
It was. It just took some time for them to really figure each other out. And Westbrook has really figured it out, playing alongside James. He's not deferring. You know, I think when you come in on somebody's team like James, you kind of defer a little bit. West has figured it out, and he's very aggressive and playing great basketball.
All right, well, this comes down to, I'm asking the former Celtic and the former Rocket, who do you got tonight, Paul? Who are you taking in this game?
Not to be biased or anything, but I like the Celtics at home. I love the way Jason Tatum is playing. He's in a nice groove. I think it's going to carry on tonight, and the Celtics get the win.
I got the Rockets. I think Westbrook and Harden will be too much. Last time they played each other, they scored 78 points. James Harden, for 3 straight games, has had 40-plus points.
I mean, look, James Harden has been talking. You heard him in that interview. That was all over the place yesterday. He knows he has to go out and back that up tonight. I am so excited. This is going to be a game. Shout out to Jason, Danny, Paul, and Tracy. We'll send